but what are some of the common mistakes researchers make when using syringe filters, and how can they be avoided?
That's a good question. And anyone who's done it knows the heartache of either ruining a batch of samples or a reagent or having a potentially dangerous issue in the lab. So, by far, the biggest issue relates to chemical compatibility of the membrane. You wouldn't want to use certain membranes with certain concentrations of acids or solvents. And we produce a robust chemical compatibility chart. And nearly every manufacturer does. And you'll generally see them posted in the lab somewhere. That's probably the primary cause of error when doing sample preparation for analysis using syringe filters. Some of the others are a really common mistake is over pressurizing the membrane. The common technique used to employ a syringe filter is simply draw your sample up into the syringe barrel, overdraw it by 1 or 2 ml to create a bit of a vacuum meniscus in the barrel itself, tilt it upward, and then screw on your Luer syringe filter. And don't over tighten it, because if you over tighten it and you feel that kind of death click where it went too far, it means that you've violated the threading on the barrel and you're going to probably have a leak. So don't over tighten it. It should just be snugged, and then express out the air bubble that you probably have in the barrel. And now it's time to put it over your vial and express out your sample. Do it evenly, slow pressure, just gentle enough that you feel the pressure against your finger, your thumb, and continue with a steady flow. If you overpressurize and push too hard and you feel in just a quick release of pressure and the fluid comes out, that's called an intrusion, and you've probably burst the membrane. And anyone who's done it knows that frustration. It's easy to recover because you can draw that sample out generally into a new syringe barrel and do it again, or just set that sample aside and work with a new one. But that's your first sign that that rapid release of back pressure is just indication that you've broken through the membrane itself.
And when you mentioned back pressure earlier, was that in regards to trying to prevent clogging or bursting, things to avoid?
Sure. Yeah. So the TruPor membranes absolutely reduce the instance of intrusion through back pressure buildup. And it also helps reduce user fatigue. So anyone who stood at a bench all day pushing samples knows the hand cramp that you walk away from the lab with. So the TruPor filters reduce that back pressure significantly, but there's a more practical purpose for it too. So, in terms of safety, if you overpressurize these devices, what can sometimes happen is the barrel itself and the filter can rupture and you get a spray effect, or there is possibility of getting back spray from the Luer fitting. And that's why you need to use proper PPE when doing these tasks. So either put the fume hood guard down or make sure you're wearing your goggles and, of course, your gloves, and have a membrane that's produced by a trustworthy manufacturer. And lower back pressure is good in this case.
I appreciate you giving such a comprehensive summary on that.